Hello, hello, hello. Uh, good evening, everyone. Um, First of all, good evening, everybody, and Tashi Dele. Hello, 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 hello. I would like to welcome all of you today for this Bodhicitta Day and a very special occasion of Gandhi Jayanti as well. So I would like to brief you about the programs of the of evening session of today's. So the first thing is we'll offer 3 prostrations along with Venerable Geshe Damdul, and then I would request our director Venerable Geshe Damdul to kindly light the butter lamp in front of Mahatma Gandhi ji in remembrance of Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi ji, and then we'll proceed. And then we'll proceed with the offering of the butter lamp, with the offering with the with the offering of the butter lamp, and then we'll proceed the session. Thank you. We will do. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all direction to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all direction to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all direction to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered misery's gloom. I beseech Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered miseries.
With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to chant the Lord of Dharma for all bewildered mysteries gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to chant the Lord of Dharma for all bewildered mysteries gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to chant the Lord of Dharma for all bewildered mysteries gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to chant the Lord of Dharma for all bewildered mysteries gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to chant the Lord of Dharma for all bewildered mysteries gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to chant the Lord of Dharma for all bewildered mysteries gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to chant the Lord of Dharma for all bewildered mysteries gloom. Okay, thank you. To chant the Lord of Dharma for all bewildered mysteries gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to chant the Lord of Dharma for all bewildered mysteries gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to chant the Lord of Dharma for all bewildered mysteries gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to chant the Lord of Dharma for all bewildered mysteries gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to chant the Lord of Dharma for all bewildered mysteries gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to chant the Lord of Dharma for all bewildered mysteries gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to chant the Lord of Dharma for all bewildered mysteries gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to chant the Lord of Dharma for all bewildered mysteries gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to chant the Lord of Dharma for all bewildered mysteries gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to chant the Lord of Dharma for all bewildered mysteries gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to chant the Lord of Dharma for all bewildered mysteries gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to chant the Lord of Dharma for all bewildered mysteries gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to chant the Lord of Dharma for all bewildered mysteries gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to chant the Lord of Dharma for all bewildered mysteries gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to chant the Lord of Dharma for all bewildered mysteries gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to chant the Lord of Dharma for all bewildered mysteries gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to chant the Lord of Dharma for all bewildered mysteries gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to chant the Lord of Dharma for all bewildered mysteries gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all attention to of all directions to chant the Lord of Dharma for all bewildered mysteries gloom. Okay, thank you. Please take your seats. Yeah. Ravela. There.
Hello. Oh, good evening, everyone. Before I proceed, I would like to make a humble request to everyone present over here to kindly keep your mobile phone on silent mode or aeroplane mode to avoid any interruption. Now, may I introduce myself? I am Pemberton, Deputy Program Coordinator of Tibet House, New Delhi. On behalf of Tibet House, the Culture Center of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, I would like to extend our warm welcome to all of you on this auspicious occasions of 155th birth anniversary of Mohandas Karamchand Gandhiji, and also celebrating the 31st anniversary of Buddha's statue presentation by His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama in the year 1993 at Buddha Jayanti Park as a gesture of gratitude to the government of India and its people. I am extremely pleased to share this celebration with all of you. Today, we commemorate the ceremony of remembrance to reflect on message of peace, non-violence, and compassion shared by Lord Buddha, Mahatma Gandhi, and His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama. I, in supplication to Lord Buddha and all the Bodhisattvas, we pray for His Holiness the Dalai Lama to have a long and healthy life. May he live for eons and eons for the benefit of all sentient beings. We offer our deepest admiration and gratitude for his tireless service to humanity and Buddha Dharma. We solemnly take this pledge to follow your principles and become a good human being. With this note, I would like to welcome our director, Venerable Geshe Dorji Damdul, and my fellow participants with us on this incredible occasion of Gandhi Jayanti and the ceremony of remembrance we are in. We are very fortunate to have this wonderful opportunity to be blessed by Venerable Geshe Dorji Damdul and undertake the aspiration of Bodhisattva Vows. I also welcome our online WebEx and YouTube participants who have joined live with us today. My courtesy to our online Russian participants as well, who are live from Russia. Thank you. Now, my request, Venerable Geshe Dorji Damdul, to kindly address our participants and lead the session. Thank you.
Thank you, Bambadunla, and thank you, Kongchindala, and all the staff here, Tibetan staff, and all participants offline, online, and YouTube, the viewers. As Bambadunla very clearly indicated, that today corresponds to the Mahatma Gandhi's birth anniversary, and also that on this occasion, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, 31 years ago, His Holiness, on behalf of all the Tibetans inside India, inside Tibet, and otherwise as well, offered the huge Buddha statue, which is placed in the Buddha Jayanti Park, which is about like half an hour drive from here, and offered to the Indian government and the people of India in expression of our gratitude for the accommodating, for giving us the shelter while His Holiness and the Tibetans escaped from Tibet under such a difficult situation, and then having found a second home here in India, and that too with the effort to preserve the Tibetan culture, plus see how much Tibetans can contribute to the welfare of the whole world in ways of spreading the message of compassion and the message of interdependency. And this is a great time for us to remember His Holiness's incredibly great contribution to the world, and to India also, to the world, to India in ways that His Holiness, wherever he travels to the world, abroad, His Holiness serves as the messenger of India, like promoting the incredible legacy of the past India to the world. This is what His Holiness has been doing all these many years, and then for the world, serving as the leader who thinks about the whole world as one entity, to see that all the wars, conflicts, border tensions, and then domestic violence, all to be stopped. So this is what His Holiness's effort is over the last like 60, 70 years for the world. So with this in mind, each one of us, who take part in this program to generate the Aspirational Bodhisattva Vow, meaning that we cultivate a spirit of bodhicitta, wishing to take the responsibility for all Dhamma sentient beings, let alone the beings of the planet Earth here. So it is our responsibility to make sure that we all learn from the vision of His Holiness and the mission that His Holiness established in this world in the form of secular ethics program, now taking the form of sea learning, which is spreading everywhere in the world and which is beyond religion, beyond Buddhism, which is the system for the welfare of the whole humanity, not only confined to Buddhism or Buddhist. So without much ado, as always, I remember His Holiness always says the best way by which to offer the gift for him on his birthday is that we practice bodhicitta, that we practice compassion, that we practice the wisdom of interdependency. If this is what we do, this is the greatest offering and gifts from your side to His Holiness for his birthday. So having said this, what we're doing here, it's also my predecessor, the late Venerable Tobun Rinpoche. So what he did is that he assigned this day as a day of remembering the great, the Bodhisattva on the planet Earth, Mahatma Gandhi, and his achievements, his contribution, his courage, and his serving as the father of the nation. And then His Holiness always indicates that His Holiness just wished that he met Mahatma Gandhi. And His Holiness also says that he learns the great deal of the principle of ahimsa from this great leader, Mahatma Gandhi. And wherever in the world, like Martin Luther King Jr., they all take Mahatma Gandhi as a role model. So this is incredibly great, the greatness, one of the greatest of the things of that India has produced, an incredibly great leader, Mahatma Gandhi. So with this in mind, as a gesture of remembrance of Mahatma Gandhi, as a gesture of repaying the kindness of His Holiness the Dalai Lama for the world, we are going to take this Aspirational Bodhisattva vow, and this connection we will proceed through the regular procedures. So the purpose is not to take this as religious, the instruction, but as say way and manner in which to cultivate the qualities of the mind, and where you can become the role model for your family members and for others. So the ripple effect of the positivities, compassion will spread from you, which we imbibe from the great leader Mahatma Gandhi, whose birthday is being observed today everywhere in the world, and His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Oftentimes I personally describe Mahatma Gandhi as the champion of ahimsa, and His Holiness the Dalai Lama is the champion of compassion. So these two things, the two qualities, embodying which would make the world a better world, more peaceful world, is something that we all need to learn from and imbibe ourselves with. So with this in mind, let us cultivate a very strong determination and the spirit that this day of the great Bodhisattva. In the Tibetans refer to Mahatma Gandhi as a Bodhisattva, oftentimes referred to as a Bodhisattva. Yes, indeed, unless somebody has incredibly great, the meritorious mind of the courage, the Bodhisattva's courage, one cannot possibly become like Mahatma Gandhi. So it's a very clear indication that as Tibetans rightly they refer to with great reverence as Mahatma Gandhi, the great Bodhisattva. So with this mind, let us invoke the blessings of Buddha, all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, particularly the Buddha Shakyamuni here, right in front of us, Buddha Shakyamuni, and which actually came from the Malaysia, and the Malaysia the great abbot of the Sri Lankan great abbot, who is based in Malaysia temple. So he so kindly offered this to Tibet House and sent all the way from Malaysia to Tibet House. And so just imagine that there's a living Buddha in front of us, and His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and the spirit of Mahatma Gandhi, along with all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the Nalanda Masters, Nalanda, the Nalanda Great Monastic University. And also let us reinforce the visualization of our two kind parents and all of family members, including children, and all other demons and sentient beings living on the side, the human beings, animals, insects, hungry ghosts, god and goddesses, spirits living on the side, all who are suffering terribly in this Gaza Strip, where now the war is going there, very unfortunate. So wherever they say the lack of peace, people are suffering, let us deliberately bring them to our visualization and pray for them. And the leaders who are involved in these wars, let us pray that they also get they also generate a very strong, virtuous mind of compassion. So with this mind, screen sharing. As envisioned by His Holiness the Dalai Lama, to incorporate the social, emotional, ethical learning, universal ethics in the study programs or education program, let us all at least be a part of it, to manifest a part of this quality of the universal ethics grounded in compassion and understanding of interdependency. So with this in mind, let us turn to page 3 of the book for those as from in person, offline, and online. You have the screen sharing. And to the great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. And to the great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. And to the great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. Sanje Joda Zoge Jonam Lo Chanjo Bando Dane Gyamso Che Dage Jinso Gebe Sonam Lola Benje Sanje Dubare Sho Sanje Jonam Lo Chanjo Bando Dane Gyamso Che Dage Jinso Gebe Sonam Ge Dola Benje Sanje Dubare Sho Sanje Joda Zoge Jonam Lo Chanjo Bardo Dane Gyamso Dage Jinso Gebe Sonam Ge Dola Benjir Sanje Dubare Sho. I go for refuge and turn my light into the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations through practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge and turn my light into the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations through practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge and turn my light into the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations through practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. In dependent origination, there is no ceasing, no arising, no annihilation, no permanence, no coming, no going, no separateness, no sameness. I prostrate to the concept of Buddha, the supreme among all teachers, the one who taught this peace, which is free of elaborations. I prostrate to the mothers of the hearers, the Bodhisattvas and the Buddhas, which through the knowledge of all these hearers seeking pacification, complete peace, which through the knowledge of past causes or helping mankind to achieve the aims of the world, and through the possession of which helps subdue us expound a variety of teachings. The one who has transformed into the reliable guide, motivated by altruism to benefit sentient beings, the teachers to guard and protect her to your prostrations. The one who has eliminated the web of conceptualizations and is endowed with the divine bodies of vast and the profound, who eternally shines forth the forever noble light rays, to you the Buddha mere prostrations. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mind of full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetum desham dathagato hyevatat desham chayo nirota evam vati mahashamanaye swaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetum tesham dathagato hyevatat tesham chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaye swaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetum tesham dathagato hyevatat tesham chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaye swaha. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. The cessation of the causes as well is taught by the great seer. Profound, peaceful, elaboration-free, clear-lighted, non-composite, such is the nectar that Dharma I have discovered. Finding no one who can fathom this teaching, in silence I return to words. Beyond utterance, thought and expression is the perfection of wisdom, which is unborn, unceased, and has the nature of space, is the object of apprehension of self-realized wisdom. To you, the mother of the Buddhas, of 3 times obeisance. The forces of Buddha's teachings, all composite things impermanent, all contaminated things are the nature of suffering, all phenomena are the nature of emptiness and selflessness, transcendent sorrow is peace. The Guru is the Buddha, the Guru is the Dharma, likewise the Guru is the Sangha, the Guru is the source of everything wholesome. I go for refuge in the Guru. By the sound of the vibrant drum of Dharma, you liberate all beings of miseries. I beseech you to kindly remain and give teachings until the end of the expanse of billions eons. The Buddha does not watch the negativities of beings, nor does he remove their miseries by his hands. His spiritual realizations are not transferred to them. It is by teaching the truth of suchness that the beings are liberated. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. If you're attached to this life, you are not a spiritual practitioner. If you're attached to samsara, you have no renunciation. If you're attached to your own self-interest, you have no bodhicitta. If there is grasping, you do not have the view. Page 14. To the founder, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the fourth destroyer, completely and fully awakened being, perfect in good knowledge and good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and humans, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, endowed transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subdued from the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings and go for refuge. When, O supreme amongst humans, you are born on this earth, you pass our 7 strides, and said, I am supreme in this world. To you who are wise, then I prostrate. With pure bodies, form supremely pure, wisdom ocean like a golden mountain, fame that blazes in the 3 worlds, wind of the best, Lord, to you I prostrate. With the supreme science, face like a spotless moon, color like gold, to you I prostrate. Dust feet like you, the 3 worlds are not, incompatible wise one, to you I prostrate. The Savior having great compassion, the founder of having all understanding, the field of merit with qualities like a vast ocean, to you the Tathagata prostrate, the purity that frees from attachment, the virtue that frees from the lower realms, the one path, the sublime pure reality, to the Dhamma that pacifies, I prostrate. Those who are liberated and also show the path to liberation, wholly feel qualified with realizations, who are devoted to the moral precepts, to you the Sangha prostrate. Do not commit any non-virtuous actions, perform only perfect virtuous actions, subdue mind thoroughly. This is a teaching of the Buddha. A star, a visual aberration, a flame of lamp, an illusion, a drop of dew, or a bubble, a dream, a flash of lightning, a cloud. See, conditioned things as such. Through this marriage, may sentient beings attain the rank of all seeing, subdue the four falls, and be delivered from samsara's ocean, perturbed by the waves of aging, sickness, and death. Heart Sutra, page 29. I prostrate to the irretrievable gem. Thus did I hear at one time the Buddha was dwelling in the mass of Valchas mountain Rajgriha, together with a great community of monks and a great community of bodhisattvas. At that time, the Buddha was absorbed in the concentration of the categories Also at that time, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arabadukateshvara looked upon the very practice of the profound illumination of wisdom and beheld those five aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Then through the power of the Buddha, Venerable Shariputra said this to the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arabadukateshvara: how should any child of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of the profound profession of wisdom train? He said that, and the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arabadukateshvara said this to the Venerable Shariputra: Shariputra, any son of the lineage or daughter of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of profound professional wisdom should look upon it like this, correctly and repeatedly, beholding those five aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Form is empty, emptiness is form. Emptiness is not other than form. Form is also not other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, discrimination, cognizant factors, and consciousness empty. Shariputra, likewise, all phenomena are empty, without characteristic, unproduced, unceased, stainless, not without stain, not deficient, not fulfilled. Shariputra, therefore, in emptiness there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no composite factors, no consciousness, no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visual form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no object, touch, and no phenomenon. There's no I element and so on, up to and including no mind element and no mental consciousness element. There's no ignorance, no extinction of ignorance, and so on, up to and including no aging in death and no extinction of aging in death. Similarly, there's no suffering or origination, cessation of the path. There's no exalted wisdom, no attainment, also no non-attainment. Shariputra, therefore, because there is no attainment, bodhisattvas rely on and dwell in the perfection of wisdom, the mind without obscuration and thus without fear. Having completely passed beyond error, all the Buddhas who dwell in the three times also manifestly completely awakened to unsurpassed, perfect, complete enlightenment and reliance on the professional wisdom. Therefore, the mantra of the professional wisdom, the mantra of great knowledge, the unsurpassed mantra, mantra equal to the unequaled, the mantra that totally pacifies all suffering, should be known as truth, since it is not false. The mantra of the professional wisdom is declared: Tiyatha Om Gade Gade Bara Sam Gade Bodhiswaha. Shariputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva, should train the profound professional wisdom like that. Then the Buddha arose from that concentration and commanded the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arabadukateshvara, saying, well said, from the lineage, it is like that, it is like that. One should practice the profound professional wisdom just as you've indicated, even the Tathagatas rejoice. The Buddha having thus spoken, the Venerable Shariputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arabadukateshvara, those around in the entirety, along with the world of gods, humans, asuras, and Gandharvas, were overjoyed and praised highly spoken by the Buddha. As we recite the mantra, just imagine that you are in Rajgir, the Vulture speak, where the Buddha actually taught this Heart Sutra. And imagine that you, your parents, all of them members, including children, and everyone is just there in the row, and the Buddha Shakyamuni, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, Avalokiteshvara, Shariputra, they were presiding over the gathering. And then the Buddha is exhorting us thus: don't remain in the fears of samsara. Come, come to the ultimate happiness by eradicating, by eliminating all the mental defilements, which otherwise they obscure the seed of perfection within us. And you're hearing what the Buddha is the exhorting. You are so inspired to inform the same to all your demon sentient beings. Look, this is what a compassionate teacher Buddha Shakyamuni is exhorting us. Let us not remain in the fears of samsara anymore. Let us not hold any form of the negativities within us and shed all the negativities. Be kind, be loving, be caring, be intelligent, be wise to know the ultimate reality as it is, and then eradicate the finally ignorance, self-grasping ignorance, self-centered attitude, and come to the state of ultimate happiness. And all demon sentient beings hearing what you are saying, they're so inspired to join you in this journey of cleansing the mind of mental defilements and to go to the ultimate state of happiness where one embraces all sentient beings equally, living in our sight, not being judgmental, not being unkind, and not being rude, only being kind with everyone with love and affection. So imagine that you are leading this recitation and all beings are joining you in the presence of Buddhas Bodhisattvas. Deyata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasamgate Bodhi Swaha Dhyatha Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasamgate Bodhi Swatyatha 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 Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasamgate Bodhi Swaha. By the teachings of three supreme jewels possessing power of the truth, may inner and outer hindrance be transformed, may they be dispelled, may they be non-existent, may they be pacified, may all negative forces opposed to the Dhamma be completely pacified, may the host of 80,000 obstacles be pacified, may we be separated from problems and conditions harmful to the Dhamma, may all our enjoyments be in accord with the Dhamma, may all our sufficient and perfect happiness pervade this place now. Okay, let's now turn to 8 verses. Immediate next page. Okay, page 35. Okay. So the Heart Sutra that we read, this is for cultivating this symbolic of cultivating the wisdom. We require the two wings to cross the ocean samsara. One, the wing of the wisdom, and the other is the wing of the method. In other words, for somebody to succeed in one's studies, like somebody doing PhD or whatever studies are you doing, or let's say sitting for UBS exam, competitive exams, we require two things. One is the intelligence, and the other one is the determination. If you want to you want to clear the competitive exams, and yet, although you may be intelligent, very learned, at the same time you find yourself lazy, sleeping, drinking in the pubs, and not at all studying, then the determination is missing. Although you have the intelligence, but the determination is missing. So of the two wings, one is missing. And then with one wing, you will end up nowhere. So we require both wings. So with this in mind, it was for my training. This is the symbolic of cultivating the wing of the determination. And the greatest of the determination is the wish to become fully awakened for the benefit of all human sentient beings. So, which is also technically referred to as bodhicitta. And these 8 verses is meant to generate this bodhicitta. And within the single individual, both these qualities can be cultivated. So, Heart Sutra for the wisdom, and the 8 verse mind training for the bodhicitta, or the awakening mind, or the altruistic intention of bodhicitta. So with this mind, as we read this, let us make sure that we recall the meanings. Meanings are well reflected upon, otherwise our recitation will be just pointless. Okay. With the determination to achieve the highest aim for the benefit of all sentient beings, which surpasses even the wish-fulfilling gem, may hold them dear at all times. Whenever I interact with someone, may I view myself as lowest amongst all, and from the very depths of my heart, respect for the whole others as superior. My mind, as soon as mental emotional afflictions arise, as they endanger myself and others, may strongly confront them and avert them. When I see beings of unpleasant character and those oppressed by strong negativity and suffering, may hold them dear, for they are rare to find, as if I've discovered a jewel treasure. When others, out of jealousy, treat me wrongly with abuse, slander, and scorn, may I take upon myself the defeat and offer to others the victory. When someone whom I helped or in whom I placed great hopes meets me in extreme for hurtful ways, may I regard him still as my precious teacher. In brief, may I offer benefit and joy to all my mothers, both directly and indirectly. May I quietly take upon myself all hurts and pains of my mothers. May all these remain undefiled by the stains of eight mundane concerns, and may recognizing all things as illusions, devoid of clinging, be released from bondage. From my two collections, vast the space that I've amassed, from working with effort at this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds wisdom eyes blinded by ignorance. Okay, now we'll read page 40, short mantle offering. Mantle offering, page 40. Page 40, short mantle offering. Before that. Okay. For your information, mandala, many of you have heard this word mandala. Mandala oftentimes depicted as like with the 2D, beautiful, the colored designs, the geometrical designs. And actually what it is, the mansion or the palace of the deities, the Buddhas, and there's a palace of the deities in 2D. Actually, so those learned, the masters, when look at it, they can see the 3D version of that. They can see that. This is one they understand of the mandala. And here the mandala is the offering the best thing, essence. Mandala has connotation, the essence, the best of everything, the essence of the best of everything that exists in the universe. You offer this all Buddhist bodhisattvas for you to accumulate merit. And the concept of the merit accumulation is that just as for us to travel to a long place, we need to take with us to sustain ourselves, the food. These things must be carried with us to sustain. So the merit is one which sustain us, help us sustain to go in this journey of the cleansing of mind of the mental defilements to attain the Buddhahood or to attain your desired goal. So with this mind, let us say this verse in English. This ground, anointed with perfume, streamed with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, the four continents, the sun and the moon. I imagine this is a Buddha filled and offer it. May all sentient beings enjoy this pure land. O Sashib Gechoshimandota Ravle Sanje Shendo Medebuvaye Togunam Da Shenlai Chubarai Sho. The four Dhammas of Venerable Gambapa. May be blessed that my mind is directed towards the Dharma. May be blessed that my Dharma practices on the proper path. May be blessed that the path is free of flaws. May be blessed that the flaws are seen in the light of exalted wisdom. Okay, so basically, after making the offering of the mantra to all Buddhist Bodhisattvas, then we can make the request to all Buddhist Bodhisattvas. And the request is that my life be meaningful. Meaningful meaning that I do something which will help me accumulate positive karmas, and that in this life I will not suffer, and also in the future lifetimes, because having done something good for others, being kind to others, engaging in study, reflection, meditation of the ultimate reality, as taught by the great Buddhist Bodhisattvas, that in the future lifetimes, that we don't have to go through all the miseries in this life. The more we create pains, the fear, unhappiness in others, the more pain that you experience in this life and also in the future lifetimes. So this is a reminder for us that my mind never go in creating pain on others, creating fear in others, creating uneasiness in others, and instead make everybody happy, give them joy, happiness, inspire them to study, reflect, and meditate on the teachings of the Buddha, how to be kind. And then so this is how we then proceed from the state of the joy to the high levels of joy, and still high levels of joy, and eventually to the state of full awakening. So with this mind, the next a set of the four requests. Four Dhammas of Venerable Bhikshu Mahasattva, becoming utterly frustrated with ignorance that grasps at true existence. Please bless me with generate renunciation, seeing all aspects of samsara as visually repulsive. Please bless me that my mind stream overflows with the precious bodhicitta that cherishes others more than myself. Please bless me to have an immaculate experience of the wisdom of emptiness that does not see even an atom of intrinsic reality on the basis of understanding how things come into being by dependent origination through mere conditioning. Please bless me that my mind stream overflows with the precious wisdom of non-duality of bliss and emptiness. Idam Guru Ratna Mendalagam Niratiyami. Okay, next. The foundation of all good qualities, the next page 42. This is the roadmap to attaining full awakening. And as I said earlier, as we read this, just see how much we can reflect on the meanings. And if you succeed in reflecting on the meanings, of course, best if the experiences can be invoked. But at least if the meanings can be reflected while we recite this, then the real benefit comes. Accumulation merit happens, that your mind is being shaped in the direction as indicated by Lama Tsongkhapa. The foundation of all good qualities is the kind and the perfect pure Guru. Correct devotion to him is the root of the path. By clearly seeing this and applying great effort, please bless me to rely upon him with great respect. Understanding that the precious freedom of this rebirth is found only once, is really meaningful and is difficult to find again. Please bless me to generate the mind that unceasingly, day and night, takes its essence. This life is as impermanent as a water bubble. Remember how quickly it decays and death comes. After death, just like a shadow follows the body, the results of virtuous and non-virtuous karmas follow. Finding firm and definite conviction in this, please bless me always to be careful, to abandon even the slightest negativity, and accomplish all virtuous deeds. Samsaric splendors are unsatisfying and unreliable. Seeking them is the door to all suffering. Recognizing these shortcomings, please bless me to generate the strong wish for the bliss of liberation. Led by this pure thought, mindfulness, alertness, great caution arise. The root of teaching is keeping the Pratimoksha vows. Please bless me to accomplish this essential practice. Just as I have fallen into the sea of samsara, so have all of other my created beings. Please bless me to see this, train in supreme bodhicitta, and bear the responsibility of freeing my created beings. Even if I develop bodhicitta, but I don't practice the three types of morality, I'll not achieve enlightenment. With my clear recognition of this, please bless me to practice the Bodhisattva vows with great energy. Once I pacify distractions to wrong objects and correctly analyze the meaning of reality, please bless me to generate quickly within my mind stream the unified part of karma body and special insight. Having become a pure vessel by training in the general path, please bless me to enter the holy gateway of the fortunate ones, the supreme Vajra vehicle. At that time, the basis of accomplishing the two attainments is keeping pure vows and samaya. As I become firmly convinced of this, please bless me to protect these vows and bless the life of my life. Then, having realized the importance of the two stages, essence of Vajrayana, by practicing with great energy, never giving up the 4 sessions, please bless me to realize the teachings of the Holy Guru. Like that, may the Guru so show the noble path, and the spiritual friends who practice it have long lives. Please bless me to pacify completely all outer and inner hindrances. In all my lives, never separated from perfect gurus, I enjoy the magnificent Dharma by completing the qualities of the stages and the paths, may cool attain the Sri Vajratara. And so the maximum verse, we'll read the first English, followed by the Tibetan. You are Avalokiteshvara, great treasure of non-referential compassion, and Manjushri, master of flawless wisdom, and the blessed of Pani, treasure of hosts of demons without exception. Tsongkhapa, crown jewel of the sages of the land of snows, Losan Trapa at your feet, amid prostrations. We will chant this, and those of us who know how to chant this, will chant it together. And those who do not know how to chant this, just listen to us and join us. be zu ge zong ka ba lo sa ta be sha la so wa ne. Okay, next is the actual practice, generating the mind of consummate yoga. Okay, for this has 4 parts. One is a single point of meditation or shamatha meditation. For this, 5 minutes meditation. Ravina, kechirtan yore mare. 5 minutes meditation. You ready? Okay, those of us who have no idea, so I can see that most of you, be it offline or online, I see that most of you are already aware of what is meditation. And the most important thing is that when you meditate, with the also 4 points, number 3, which is identifying the areas of meditation. That is so important. We need to identify the areas of meditation very clearly. And should you experience any of these areas, laxity and excitement or mental scattering, then applying the remedies, introspection and mindfulness effectively. So that's so important. And you're just sitting say idly, and your mind is distracted, falling sleepy, and still not applying the remedies, and then there's not meditation. This is a self-deception. So we should be very careful to make sure that and it can be very counterproductive in ways that you can build a very bad habit. So to make sure that the time is not wasted, we don't build a bad habit. Whatever meditation that we do it in a proper way. Okay, 5 minutes, ready? Okay, next for renunciation. So basically we require four things. One is the wisdom, and the other one is the method. Method referring to primarily bodhicitta, wisdom, and bodhicitta. And bodhicitta, the ground should be renunciation. So wisdom, wisdom emptiness, bodhicitta, and renunciation. And these three things must be stabilized by the number four, which is shamatha meditation. So we did that first. Now for the renunciation, usually there are so many kinds or so many versions of this meditation. One is known as the Lamrim practice, and Lamrim practice you see that is something common to all the Tibetan traditions. Like Nyingma, we have Zaburi Rinpoche's The Words of My Perfect Teacher, and then for the Kagyu tradition, there is the Ornament of Liberation, Tabo Targin, Ornament of Liberation, and then for the Sakya, there is the what's that? And there is then the okay. Okay, I don't remember it now. Lamde. Lamde is there, the path and the result. And for the Guru tradition is commonly known as Lamrim. So this Lamrim was originally, of course, originally taught by Buddha himself, and later commended by the different masters. And finally in Tibet, it was the Choja Banda Adisha, Adisha the Maharishi Gyana, who taught this first. And then the Tibetan masters, they elaborated this and took that as the main constitution of the Dharma practice. And then they applied this in all the traditions across. Okay. So with this in mind, for the renunciation, something to make it very universal, we take the Buddha's own teaching of the Four Seals. So it's going to be more like guided meditation. So what we suggest is that they just try to follow the instructions, don't try to correlate. Don't try to correlate with what you've learned before, here, heard, and so forth. Just try to take the advantage of the, say, invoking whatever little experience that we can invoke. We do that. And once that is done, then later on, if you want to correlate, you can correlate it later on after the session. Okay, ready? Renunciation. Renunciation is to renounce the miseries, not renounce happiness. To renounce the miseries, we need to know how to renounce causes of the miseries. And the causes of miseries Buddha identified primarily contaminant karmas, afflictions, inappropriate attention, and self-grasping ignorance. And in short, the root is the ignorance. And ignorance, there are so many layers, and Buddha identified again. Therefore, the ignorance misperceiving impermanent phenomena as permanent. Ignorance which misperceives misery as happiness. Ignorance which misperceives selfless nature as selfhood. Ignorance which misperceives impure things as pure. To counteract the four misperceptions or the kinds of ignorance, the Buddha taught the four seals. First, all composite things are impermanent. Impermanence is of two kinds, gross impermanence and the subtle impermanence. Gross means the continuum of which terminates. For example, our youth. Our youth, but by the time you reach age 20, your earlier teenager already gone, and it's gone for good. So likewise, those of us in 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, your youth, they're already gone. And our beautiful moments being with your parents, being with your family members and so forth, at one time, you see that you are separated. All those beautiful moments are gone. And you look at the beautiful days, the sunset. Just look at the sunset over the ocean, so which looks so beautiful, but it's a matter of a few minutes and it disappears. This is our life. And very beautiful moments of our life, they are now gone. They just become memories. So this is what the Buddha indicated as whatever comes together, they are doomed to be separated. And whatever is accumulated will be exhausted. And whatever is born will die. This is the reality of impermanence. Knowing this, just imagine 200 years ago, the people on planet Earth, perhaps like 2 billion human beings. And I learned that at the time of the Buddha, it's only about like 200 millions all over the world. It's just like 200 millions. That's it. And their parents, children having their own expectations of their career, and parents likewise having the expectation of their children, and so forth. And they have expectations, whether expectations are met or not, now they're all gone. Not even a single person is left today. And it's not that they are unfortunate. We are very fortunate, but no. It's a matter of time, 200 years down the line in the future. Not even a single person out of 8 billion human beings will be survived then. And out of the 8 billion human beings, only a handful of the people will be remembered. But many of us, nobody will remember. Even the faint memory disappears of us. People have no clue that you once existed 200 years ago. If you don't believe in this, just imagine who's your great-grandparents. How many of you know that? Maybe only few, maybe like few thousands out of 8 billion human beings have a clue of their great-grandparents. And then what about the great-great-grandparents? What about the ancestors 200 years ago? Nobody has any clue. This is reality. So this is what will happen 200 years down the line in the future. This is meaning of all composite things impermanent. And impermanence, the gross and subtle referring to the momentariness involved with all the composite phenomena. So anything which you, including your body, your family members, the house in which you live, the cars that you drive, or the metro, or the road on which you walk, the flowers that you look at, all these composite phenomena, they look so static and stable. In actuality, they are like momentarily moving so fast. This is reality. Because of the grossness of our mind, our eyes, we cannot see that. We cannot see the reality of impermanence. And because this is the reality of composite phenomena, seeing that all composite phenomena, they move so fast. It is like we being thrown into a very fast moving train. Faster the train moves, more the fear. So this is exactly what is happening to us. And who decides where this train is taking us? The train driver decides. And if the train driver is your mother or father, of course, it'll take you to the picnic spot. But if the train driver is the terrorist, will only take us to the slaughterhouse. In that case, unfortunately, while the train driver is our own mind, but this mind is under the worst of the terrorists, self-grasping, ignorant, self-centered attitude. As long as our mind is under the driver-like mind is under the control of this, the terrorist like contamination, what's with contamination, which is self-grasping ignorance, there's never a peace of mind. There's never happiness. This is what the Buddha indicated as all contaminated things of suffering nature. Suffering like what? 3 kinds of suffering. Suffering, the obvious suffering that we go through. Suffering of the loss of near and dear ones, and so forth. And one moment of such suffering is good enough to nullify all the past moments of the merriments and the festivities, birthday parties, celebrations, picnics, and so forth. Yes, that's true. And when will this misery stop? These sufferings will stop. They will never stop on their own unless we put a concerted effort. What kind of effort is required? So enough is enough our suffering is too much. It never stops on their own. So we shed tears after tears and tears of having lost even the kings, queens, even the presidents, prime ministers, rich people, ultra rich people, poor people, educated, uneducated, they all leave. This is suffering that they go through. We also have to go through. So how to stop this? We have to stop the negativities. We have to stop creating pains on others. We have to we only extend love and affection or wisdom, but how to stop the miseries completely by stopping the root of the miseries. The root of misery, given that is ignorance, the counterforce should be the wisdom of wisdom. What is that wisdom? Wisdom, by definition, is the discerning mind whose apprehension of the objectiveness with the reality. What's the reality? The reality is about what the Buddha indicated as the third seal. Everything is nature, emptiness, selflessness. Okay. So what it do is that here, we will, given that there are many of us who are new to this concept of emptiness, but it's going to be a very cursory form of meditation emptiness. I'm going to give the instruction. You try to just follow this, and even if nothing happens, don't worry. Just it's going to leave leave a very positive imprint in our mind. Okay. Um, in other words, we have to wake up from the sleep of ignorance. In the sleep of ignorance, in the sleep of the dream, in the sleep creating the dream, you see dream is real, and then we're being sucked up in the dream, and all the fears, being chased by ghosts, lions, tigers, earthquakes, so forth happens. The moment we wake up, coming to know that the dream is not real, all the fears dissolve. This is what the Buddha indicated, that everything is like a dream. Nothing exists as objective real as real. Everything is like a dream. Wake up from the sleep of ignorance. So this is meaning of that everything's nature, emptiness, selflessness. And if you get this experience, what's the benefit? Just so you wake up, all the fears of dream dissolve. Like once we wake up from the sleep of ignorance, all the fears of samsara will dissolve. This transcends all sorrow. This is what the Buddha indicated as transcendent sorrow is absolute peace. Just stay in this experience as though like you're waking up. You wake up from the sleep of ignorance, and that you realize that everything is like a dream, or all your fears dissolve. Just stay in this experience for a while. Although it's just imagination, for most of us, it doesn't matter. This is how we mimic, and then eventually becomes real. Just stay in this experience. If I were to wake up from the sleep of this unconventional dream, all my samsaric miseries and sorrows will dissolve. Stay in this experience for a while. Or you just generate very strong desire. May I experience this fearlessness, where in the experience of emptiness, all phenomena dissolve and nothing can affect my mind anymore. Stay in this experience for a while. Okay, this experience is known as the renunciation. Okay, slowly come out of this meditation, and we'll take a few seconds break before we move to bodhicitta. Are you ready? Bodhicitta practice will do that on the basis of the four immeasurables. Again, it's going to be guided meditation. Just try to follow the instructions and see how much you can invoke the respective experience to the best you can. And even if nothing they say that happens to you or no experience comes to you, don't worry. Try your best. This is how, where there's a will, there's a way. Your mind creating the will to do this practice, eventually it'll move in that direction. Ready? Immeasurable loving kindness. How good would it be that all my dear sentient beings are endowed with happiness and the causes of happiness. That causes of happiness primarily consisting of the wisdom of emptiness, the most fearless wisdom of emptiness, and the most beautiful mind of the bodhicitta. May all my dear sentient beings be endowed with happiness and the causes of happiness. I will take the responsibility that all my dear sentient beings are endowed with happiness and the causes of happiness. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas witnessing the doing is such a courageous commitment. But the mother, after all these many years of hardship raising her children, today the eldest daughter just aged 12 and the eldest son aged 11, two of them come to the mother, telling the mother, "You have done everything for us. We love you so much. You love us so much. We already grown up. We'll take care of all our siblings." And the mother could not believe her eyes and ears. This incredible joy and pride that she feels. This is exactly what is happening to all Buddhist Bodhisattvas. They're extremely happy and proud of you. This pride and happiness invoke their compassionate omniscient minds to send forth nectars of soothing lights towards you and all sentient beings. The mere touch of lights and nectars with the bodies beings yours instills in all happiness and the causes happiness in the minds of sentient beings yourself. And you witnessing such a miraculous happenings to all the sentient beings. You're intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sighing with relief. Next, immeasurable compassion. How good would it be that all my dear sentient beings are freed from suffering and the cause of suffering. Cause of suffering primarily consists of self-grasping ignorance and self-centered attitude. May all my dear sentient beings be freed from suffering and the cause of suffering. I will take the responsibility that all my dear sentient beings are freed from suffering and the cause of suffering. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas witnessing their doing is such a courageous commitment. Their intense happiness and proud of you. This pride and happiness invoke their compassionate omniscient minds to send forth nectars of soothing lights towards you and ultimate sentient beings. The mere touch of lights and nectars with the bodies beings yours, washes of all the miseries and causes of miseries from the sentient beings yourself. And you witnessing such miraculous happening towards all the sentient beings, you're intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sigh with relief. Next, immeasurable loving kindness, immeasurable joy. How good would it be that all my dear sentient beings are never separated from happiness and the causes of happiness that they endowed with. May all my dear sentient beings never be separated from happiness and the causes of happiness that they endowed with. I will take the responsibility that all my dear sentient beings are endowed, if they are never separated from happiness and the causes of happiness that they endowed with. The Buddhas Bodhisattvas witnessing the making such a courageous commitment, their intense happiness and proud of you. This pride and happiness invoke their compassion omniscient minds to send the nectars of soothing lights towards you and all the sentient beings. The mere touch of lights and nectars with the bodies makes yours, stabilizes the happiness and the causes of happiness, the beings that are endowed with. And you witnessing such a miracle happening towards all the sentient beings, you're intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sigh with relief. Finally, immeasurable equanimity. How good would it be that all my sentient beings are freed from the biased attitude of excessive attachment to some and aversion towards others. May all my sentient beings be freed from the biased attitude of excessive attachment to some and aversion towards others. I will take the responsibility that all my sentient beings are freed from the biased attitude of excessive attachment to some and aversion towards others. The Buddhist Bodhisattvas, like the mother after all these many years of raising her children, today, for the first time, the little girl, the little daughter, just aged 12, and the little son, aged 11, two of them come to the mother, telling the mother, Mother, please take rest. You have done everything for us. We're already grown up. We'll take care of all the siblings. And the mother could not believe her eyes and ears. With so much joy and pride, tears rolling down her cheeks. This is exactly what is happening to all Buddhist Bodhisattvas. They're so happy and proud of what they have committed. And this pride and joy all Buddhist Bodhisattvas feel invoke their compassion omniscient minds to send the nectars very soothing lights towards you and all sentient beings. The mere touch of lights and nectars, lights and nectars with the bodies of beings yours, frees the beings from the biased attitude of excessive attachment to some and aversion towards others, and instead make them abide in the great state of equanimity, embrace all other demonstrations with total love and affection, leaving none aside. And you're witnessing such miraculous happening towards all the demonstration beings. You're intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sigh with relief. Underscoring all the four measurables is unconditional love towards all demonstration beings. Just abiding this experience of unconditional love. Imagining that you're looking at the eyes of each sentient being with total love and affection and embrace, to the extent that each one of them feels themselves so special in your eyes. With this spirit, with folded hands, let us make a Bodhisattva commitment 3 times together. And imagine that all sentient beings are joining you. May all my dear mother sentient beings, may I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. Just abide in this most beautiful mind of the bodhicitta, the most beautiful and altruistic mind of bodhicitta. Slowly transform this beautiful mind of bodhicitta into a spotlessly clean moon disk, horizontally sitting on the heart. Oh, it's amazing that you made such a courageous commitment to become Buddha, but remember that no matter how much you squeeze a handful of sand, no oil comes out. Yes, that's true. I'm not like a handful of sand. I'm like a handful of sunflower seeds, squeezing of which oil does come out. If this is the case, if you have the Buddha nature to become Buddha, how come that since time immemorial till now, it never manifested? Yes, that's true. Since time immemorial till now, I'm being deceived by the 2 demons, self-grasping, ignorant, self-centered attitude. I'm now going to do everything to exterminate the 2 demons. What are you going to do? I'm going to resort to a very powerful remedy. What is that remedy? The wisdom of emptiness. Okay, let's quickly meditate on the wisdom of emptiness. So this is going to be guided meditation. Just follow the instructions. What are you doing? In other words, we're trying to see that the wisdom of emptiness means to see that everything is empty like a dream. Like waking up to discover that the dream is just not real. It's just what your mind creates. So we have to wake up from the unconventional dream. We have been waking up from the conventional dream every day, but if we've never woken up from the unconventional dream, so now we're trying to wake up from the sleep of ignorance, which is unconventional dream. Okay, what are you doing? I'm meditating. What is your body doing? My body is a meditative state. And how does this person appear to you? We identify as I. How does it appear to you? Does this person appear as like a dream that your mind is making it, or is so objectified, so solidified, so self-defined, objectively there? Yes, of course, so objectively there. This belief is self-grasping ignorance. This is responsible for tripping us in samsara. But how do you know that this ignorance is not wisdom? Yes. If this self does exist the way this ignorance believes, remember what Arindika taught. If the mirage were to be water, why not those close by the mirage see water? But the similar token reasoning, if this self who identifies I were to exist objectively, why don't I see this self as I go closer to the object? Okay, now let's go closer to the object. Going closer to the object, whatever is not the self, just ignore them, because you're interested in objectives in self and you were wondering if it exists or not. So that mind which goes closer to the object is known as ultimate analysis. And technically speaking, we're subject to self-ultimate analysis. So subject to self-ultimate analysis, we end up seeing the thin layers of skin. That's not me. Behind that, the fatty tissues. Behind that, the muscles, cartilages, the whole skeleton, heart, lungs, the liver, spleen, all the solid parts which comes to element of earth. Of course, element of earth is not to be identified as intrinsic as the self. Element of water, 4 liters of blood which is pumped in and out by the heart of different parts of the body. Of course, that is not me. Element of fire, 2,600 joules of energy of your body. Of course, that is not me. Element of air, 4.6 liters of air that you breathe in out through your lungs. Of course, that is not objectively me. Element of space, 99.99% of your body is vacuum. But I'm not space. I'm a solid person. Element of consciousness or element of mind. People can see me. People cannot see my mind. And I'm a male, I'm a female. So this gender is the gender is posited on the basis of the body, not on the mind. So therefore, the mind is not mind, or the element of consciousness or the element of mind is also not me. Okay. Now, if none of these 6 elements constitute the objective self, then see if the self does exist objectively as different from these 6 elements. Remove the 6 elements, what is left? Nothing is left there. So of the 2 possibilities for the self to exist objectively, we see that both possibilities are ruled out, and from the object there's nothing there to be identified as this self. Stay in this experience for a while. Just the self disappears in that experience of the objective ultimate analysis. Stay in this experience for a while. Okay, this mind, if you can genuinely feel it, if you genuinely get it, it can give you goosebumps on the body. Cool waves can flow through your body. Tickling sensations can just flow through your surface of the skin. A tinge of fear can come in some people. A profound tranquility can come to others. If any of these experiences come to you, you are very fortunate. If not, don't worry. Study more, reflect more, meditate more, study more systematically, and you will reach there. You'll get some experience eventually, and this can further be fine-tuned, and your experience will become deeper, deeper, deeper. Good. Now slowly transform this mind of the fearless mind of the wisdom of emptiness into a spotlessly clean, thumb-size white Vajra. And visualize it the vertically sitting on the moon disk at your heart. Okay, now you have the Vajra moon. Moon is symbolic of the conventional bodhicitta to exterminate self-centered attitude. Vajra is symbolic of the ultimate bodhicitta, which is non-dual wisdom of the bodhisattvas, to get rid of the self-grasping ignorance and all the mental stains. Amazing. That guarantees that I'm going to experience a fearlessness, technically referred to as nirvana, And infinite happiness, technically referred to as bodhicitta. The Buddhahood. Wow, amazing. While you are very fortunate, but don't forget that your two parents, all family members, all sentient beings are suffering terribly. Yes, indeed, just invoked a very profound compassion to all the beings. This compassion evokes your Vajramuni at your heart to multiply infinite number of times. Share one side of the Vajramuni at the heart of your mother, one side with the heart of your father, one side with each one of your family members and their children, one with each of sentient beings in India, in your own country, with each of the beings, the creatures in the oceans, in each of the beings in the wilderness, trillions of creatures are there in the wilderness, in the waters, and in the form of spirits in the air, in space. Just visualize that you share the Vajramon with all the demonstration beings. Wow, that's amazing. At the same time, let us also not forget that all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, they're watching us. And why not we request Buddhas, Bodhisattvas to be the guests as well as our witness to undertake this ceremony of taking the Aspirational Bodhisattva vow. As making a request, let us slowly stand up to make 3 prostrations, along with all demonstration beings, to all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas. Ravela. Can sit on your right knees to take the Aspirational Bodhisattva vow. Sit on your right knees. And since it will take a few minutes, in the process, if you start to feel the pain, then I would suggest you to sit down comfortably, whatever position more comfortable. And the pain should not hamper us from generating bodhicitta, taking the Aspirational Bodhisattva vow. And who's entitled? The next question is, who's entitled to take this Aspirational Bodhisattva vow? Should it be Buddhist? Should it be Mahayana practitioners? Not necessary. Anybody, anyone, whether you're a believer or non-believer, Buddhist, non-Buddhist, Mahayana, Theravada, it doesn't matter. Anyone can take this Aspirational Bodhisattva vow. At the maximum, but this is Bodhisattva vow, there are 2 kinds. One is a full-fledged Bodhisattva vow, and the other one is Aspirational Bodhisattva vow. What we are taking is the Aspirational Bodhisattva vow. For the Aspirational Bodhisattva vow, the maximum, the commitment that we have, if at all you want some commitment, it is that from today onwards, I'll try my best not to harm others. And if possible, I will try to help others. This much, if you can commit yourself, then you're entitled to take the Aspirational Bodhisattva vow. And whereas for the full-fledged Bodhisattva vow, then it is not that easy. There are several commitments, referred to as the 18 infractions to observe, to make sure that you don't breach those 18 commitments. And there are 4 or 6 minor infractions also there not to fall into. Okay, so but it's here, this is just as simple that I'll try my best to be as nice, kind towards other people, and if not, I'll at least not harm others. This much we're committed. If you can be committed, you're entitled to take the session Bodhisattva vow. Okay, just imagine all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas. So as you have requested, all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas are there in a living form. Buddha Shakyamuni, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas are there with us. And then you are surrounded by your two parents, all of them members, the children, and all the sentient beings. And imagine that you were like a little, very little girl, age 5, age 6, or a little boy, age 4, 5, 6. And then you, very responsible child, you're bringing along with you all your siblings with you to take part in this program. And all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas, like the parents, leaving aside, leaving behind all what they have to do for that day to join the audience, and that you, for the first time in your life, making a public appearance on behalf of your school, and your parents are so proud of you. This is exactly what is happening today. All the Buddhist Bodhisattvas are so proud of you that they're observing, witnessing, and they're with us. They're with us. So with this in mind, let's recite the verses together. And try to, okay, the first verse, I'll explain it very quickly. And the first I will explain this because the meaning, if you miss the meanings, then it's just pointless. So meanings must be well reflected. So what you are saying is that I'm going to uncover the treasure of the ultimate happiness within me. This is equivalent to the wanting to become Buddha, wanting to attain a full enlightenment. You're wanting to attain the infinite happiness. This journey is a very important journey, most important journey. For this you need great support. And the greatest support that you can think of is the Triple Gem. So the first line says, I go for refuge to the Triple Gem. And then this journey involves a road. And the road should not be blocked by the boulders, the fallen trees, and so forth. And this road is none other than your own mind. Your mind must be freed of the negativities. And so the second line says, I confess the negativities individually. And now the road is very clear, but if your car does not have fuel, again, it doesn't serve the purpose. You require the car to be filled with the fuel in order to undertake the journey. So this car is none other than your own mind. Your mind itself is the car to go to Buddhahood. So this car should have the inner fuel of the merit accumulation, virtue accumulation. And the best way by which to do that very effectively within a short span of time is to rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. So the third line says, I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. Now that you have a great support, the road is clear, and the car is enough fuel, what kind of journey I'm going to undertake? I'm going to undertake the journey of enlightenment, attain the maximum happiness for oneself and the maximum the wisdom to lead all the beings towards Buddhahood. So the fourth line says, I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. Okay, let us say this 3 times together, wholeheartedly. And imagine that you are leading this practice and all sentient beings are joining you. I go for refuge to the Triple Gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. I go for refuge to the Triple Gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. I go for refuge to the Triple Gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please be here to me. Just as the previous Buddhas have generated the Mother Bodhicitta, and just as they successfully dwell in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the Mother Bodhicitta, and likewise shall I too successfully train in the Bodhisattva practices. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please be here to me. Just as the previous Buddhas have generated the Mother Bodhicitta, and just as they successfully dwell in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the Mother Bodhicitta, and likewise shall I too successfully train the Bodhisattva practices. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please be here to me. Just as the previous Buddhas have generated the Mother Bodhicitta, and just as they successfully dwell in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the Mother Bodhicitta, and likewise shall I too successfully train the Bodhisattva practices. 3 times, 2 times. Okay. Okay, just feel the joy of having received the Aspirational Bodhisattva vow. Feel the joy. And imagine that all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, they're extremely happy, like your parents. Just imagine that you as a little boy, little girl, all the many years the parents have been receiving only complaints from the school principal about you as a little girl, little boy. And today the school principal comes and the mother is again very apprehensive. Again, what are you going to complain? The school principal said, no, we came here to congratulate you that your son and your daughter, two of them, are appointed as the best students of this school for this year. The mother, after all these many years of getting complaint, could not believe something so pleasant that she is hearing today. It made her so happy. This is exactly what happens to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Since time immemorial, the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas have been only expecting us to do something good so that you will be happy, not do something negativities or harmful to others that you don't suffer, but on the contrary, we do just the opposite. We always cause problems on others, create problems, fears, uneasiness in others, and not helping others at all. And today you have shared Bodhicitta that this is something so new that you're doing, which is extremely purposeful for you and purposeful for all sentient beings. This is what Buddhas have been expecting you to do since long time ago, but you have done the opposite all the time. And today that you have done it, the Buddhas feel so proud of you, like the mother feeling so proud of you. So this joy and happiness invoke the Vajramuni at the house of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas to multiply infinite number of times. Like rain shower at the descent of Majapata Bandara visualized at the heart of your mother and that of heart at your heart, the Vajramuni at your heart, thereby becoming non-dual, stabilized, and blessed. Likewise, all these innumerable, infinite replicas of Vajramuni from the house of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas descend to Majapata Bandara visualized. They are the heart of your mother, father, each of them family members, including children, and each of sentient beings in the wilderness, in the water bodies, in the spirits, the space. Now everyone, the Vajraman that you have shared with them, they're being blessed, become non-dual and stabilized. And all this is the greatest of the thing that you can do for your dear mother sentient beings to repay the kindness. And today you did it. And this is the greatest of the offerings that you can possibly make to all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas. And today you made it. Buddha very clearly proclaimed that one moment of genuine bodhicitta, far with genuine compassion, far excels the gifts of the whole universe filled with gems and offered to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. If this were the case, what I mentioned of our having taken the Aspirational Bodhisattva vow today, and today you did it, this is the greatest offering that we made. And of your life, this is the greatest of purpose, and you have really given such a purpose to your life. All these wonders are happening because of the blessings of Buddhas Bodhisattvas. So as a gesture of thanking all the Buddhas Bodhisattvas for making these things happen, let us say once again, along with all demonstration makes, let us stand up to make 3 prostrations to all Buddhas Bodhisattvas. Okay, please take your seats. Now sit comfortably. Let us turn to page 51. The practice of the Bodhicitta which we did today, and yes, we are very meritorious. So what about next life? For that, in order that we get the same opportunity for this practice in the future lives as well, we include that in the form of very powerful practice or prayers, and also along with our day-to-day practice. So we recite the verse here 3 times together, page 51. Throughout my future lifetimes, may always be guided by the compassion of Buddha and be able to uphold the true precious bodhicittas even at the cost of my life. Throughout my future lifetimes, may always be guided by the compassion of Buddha and be able to uphold the true precious bodhicittas even at the cost of my life. throughout my future lifetimes, may always be guided by the compassion Buddha and be able to uphold the true precious bodhicitta even in cosmic life. In order to further increase this bodhicitta from now on, those with discernment who have lucid sees and awaken the mind in this should highly praise in the following manner. Today my life is borne fruit, by having well obtained this human existence. I've been born in the family of the Buddha, and now I'm one of Buddha's children. Thus whatever actions I have to from now on must be in accord with the family. Never shall it disgrace or pollute this noble and unsullied trace. Just like a blind man discovering a jewel in a heap of rubbish, likewise by some coincidence an awakened mind has been born within me. Is the supreme ambrosia that overcomes the serpent of death. It is the inexhaustible treasure that eliminates all poverty in the world. It's the supreme medicine that quells the world's disease. It's the tree that shelters all beings wandering entirely on the path of conditioned existence. It is the universal bridge that leads to freedom from unhappy states of birth. It's the dawning moon of the mind that dispels the torment of disturbing conceptions. It's that great sun that finally removes the mist ignorance of the world. It is the quintessential butter from the churning of the milk of Dharma. For all those guests traveling on the path of conditioned existence who wish to experience the abundance of happiness, this will satisfy them with joy and actually place them in supreme bliss. Today, in the presence of the world to be guests at a festival of temporary and ultimate delight, may gods, demigods, and all be joyful. Okay, I will recite the Medicine Buddha mantra for the long life of His Holiness the Dalai Lama and for the swift and healthy recovery of His Holiness the post-knee surgery. Tiata Begaze Begaze Ma Begaze Rasa Samunga de Soha Tiata Begaze Begaze Ma Begaze Rasa Samunga de Soha Tiata Begaze Begaze Ma Begaze Rasa Samunga de Soha Tiata Begaze Begaze Ma Begaze Rasa Samunga de Soha Tiata Begaze Begaze Ma Begaze Rasa Samunga de Soha Tiata Begaze Begaze Ma Begaze Rasa Samunga de Soha Tiata Begaze Begaze Ma Begaze Rasa Samunga de Soha Tiata Begaze Begaze Ma Begaze Rasa Samunga de Soha Tiata Begaze Begaze Ma Begaze Rasa Samunga de Soha Tiata Begaze Begaze Ma Begaze 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 Ma Begaze Rasa Samunga de Soha Tiata Begaze Begaze Ma Begaze Rasa Samunga de Soha Tiata Begaze Begaze Ma Begaze Rasa Samunga de Soha Tiata Begaze Begaze Ma Begaze Rasa Samunga de Soha Tiata Begaze Begaze Ma Begaze Tiata Begaze Begaze Ma Begaze Rasa Samunga de Soha Tiata Begaze Begaze Ma Begaze Rasa Samunga de Soha Tiata Begaze Begaze Ma Begaze Rasa Samunga de Soha Tiata Begaze Begaze Ma Begaze Rasa Samunga de Soha Tiata Begaze Begaze Ma Begaze Rasa Samunga de Soha Tiata Begaze Begaze Ma Begaze Rasa Samunga de Soha Tiata Begaze Begaze Ma Begaze Rasa Samunga de Soha Ma Begaze Rasa Samunga de Soha Om Dare Du Dare Dure Soha Om Dare Du Dare Du Dare Dure Soha Om Dare Du Dare Dure Soha Om Dare Du Dare Dure Om Dare Du Dare Dure Soha 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 Om Dare Du Dare Dure Soha, 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 Om Dare Du Dare Dure Soha. Om Dare Du Dare Dure Soha. Om Ahom Benza Guru Bema Siddhi Hum, Om Ahom Benza Guru Bema Siddhi Hum, Om Ahom Benza Guru Bema Siddhi Hum, Om Ahom Benza Guru Bema Om Ahom Benza Guru Bema Siddhi Hum, 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 Om Ahom Benza Guru Bema Siddhi Om Om Bazakura Bamasida 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 Om Aho Benza Guru Bema Siddhi Om. Om Aho Benza Guru Bema Siddhi Om. Barum Tuve. Barum prayer. Television prayer. Kandimba. Okay, Nalasita. Okay. The Nalendra one did do because offline will not see that. Okay, the best would be let us turn to, I don't know whether we have Undertaking prayer, which is on page 294. Page 294. So no doubt the on this day, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the living Buddha today on the planet Earth, he 31 years ago, they offered this Buddha statue on this day to commemorate the birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi, the father of the nation, father of Indian nation. So with this, we have taken the Aspirational Bodhisattva Vow on this day. No doubt we have accumulated so much of merit, and whatever merit that we've accumulated, we make sure that we dedicate them properly so that the merit accumulated doesn't go waste. So how do we dedicate the merits? One, that His Holiness lives long, and that his wishes be fulfilled spontaneously, and also that all the Dharma centers of the Theravada Buddhism, Chinese Buddhism, Tibetan Buddhism, wherever there's authentic teachings of Buddha flourishing, whatever tradition, across the tradition, may they succeed in the practice in terms of study, reflection, meditation, so that the teachings of Buddha continue to benefit the sentient beings, giving them the absolute peace and a common sense of interdependency and a universal compassion for all the beings. And may all the teachers in these big monastic universities across the traditions, they do have long life, a stable good health, long life, and they wish it be fulfilled spontaneously. And the monk residents, the monastics, they be harmonious. They continue to receive the maximum support in the pursuit of the study of reflection meditation or the bodhicitta wisdom of emptiness, that they continue to inspire as millions and millions of beings, trillions of beings, the humans, non-humans, towards enlightenment. May the teaching of bodhicitta, meditation, wisdom, emptiness thrive in the minds of all human sentient beings. May all the wars, wherever happening, may all the border tensions wherever happening, may the domestic violence wherever happening, may all they be pacified, then everybody can take a fresh breath of air of peace, happiness, and joy. May all the miseries come to an end. With this mind, let's turn to page 2494. In the land encircled by snow mountains, you are the source of all happiness and good. All-powerful Chandra said, Tenzin Gyatso, please remember that samsara ends. Just as the brave magician and Samadhi true realize things they are, also I dedicate all these merits in the best way that I may follow the perfect example. I dedicate all these rules of virtue with the dedication praised as the best by all the Buddhas who appeared in 3 times, so that I might perform the noblest Bodhisattva's deeds. Chanjo Samjo Remboje Aya Banam Ke Gyuroje Gyaba Nyamba Me Maya Kone Kondo Pe Baraisho. May the Supreme Bodhicitta that is nourished and rising grow, and may their wishes arisen not diminish but increase forevermore. As long as space remains, as long as sentient beings remain, until then may I too remain to dispel the miseries of the world. Due to the merits of these virtuous actions, may I quickly attain the state of a Guru Buddha and lead all beings without exception into their enlightened state. I dedicate merit thus gathered towards the realization that teaches in their prayers of all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of 3 times, and to the hover of the Dharma of the teaching and realization. May in all lives, through the force of this merit, never separate from the 4 wills of the mind and vehicle, and accomplish all the stages of the path, renunciation, bodhicitta, perfect in the 2 stages. With the wish to free all beings, I shall always go for refuge to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, until I reach full enlightenment. May the poor find wealth, those with sorrow find joy. May the fallen find new hope, constant happiness, prosperity. May all who are sick and ill quickly be freed from their illness, and may every disease in the world never occur again. May the frightened cease to be afraid, and those bound be freed. May the powerless find power, and may people think of benefiting one another. By the merits I've accumulated, may every single being abandon all forms of wrongdoing and perpetually engage in virtue. May they never be parted from the mind of bodhicitta, and may they always engage in the bodhisattva's conduct. May they care for by the Buddhas and relinquish the actions of devils. May no living creature ever suffer, commit wrong, or ever fall ill. May no one be afraid or belittled, or their minds ever be depressed. May all the pains of living creatures solely upon and through the might of the Bodhisattva Sangha, may all beings experience happiness. Having dispelled all the inner and outer obstacles and downfalls, such as poverty, despair, oppression, cruelty, epidemics, and natural disasters, inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mind of full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. I go for refuge to the Triple Gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. By the power of practicing and supplicating to you, may all be free from sickness, poverty, and conflict, and may Dharma and the auspicious proliferate in all the places where we abide. The power of union of intrinsic compassion is loosely explained by the protector of both the Dharma and the peaceful land of snows. You are the Lotus holder Tenzin Gyatso. We supplicate you that we wish are fulfilled spontaneously. May the operations of evil thoughts and deeds of the negative forces, humans or non-humans, who have by minister of perverted prayers against the teachings of Buddhas be truly vanquished through the power of the truth of the 3 jewels. By the dependent realization of the profound sessions of appearance and emptiness, together with the force of great compassion of the 3 jewels and the power of the truth, and through the virtue of the infallible law of karmas and their fruits, may this truthful prayer of ours be unhindered and quickly fulfilled. May the teachings of beneficial one till world's end be unshaken by the winds of evil thoughts, who find conviction in the teacher by understanding the teaching's true nature, may never falter even for an instant to uphold the excellent way of the sage, which illuminates the principle of dependent origination through all my births, even giving away my body and life. May I spend day and night carefully reflecting by what means can I enhance this teaching through strenuous efforts over countless eons. In my long life, never separate from perfect gurus, may enjoy the magnificent Dharma by completing the qualities of stages and paths, may quickly attain the state of Vajratara. Throughout my future lifetimes, may always be guided by them and be able to uphold the Dharma in general and the teaching of dependent origination in particular, even in the course of my life. Samarta de Kyojam. Deata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasangate Bodhiswaha Tyatha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasangate Bodhiswaha Tyatha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhiswaha. Da sırası yürümür. Sırası çoğu yürümür. Sırası da. Azı içi de nilavdı.
Hello.
Da hani.
Hello.
Dedi.
Thank you very much, Venerable Geshe Damdul, for blessing us with the undertaking of the Aspirational Bodhisattva Vows. On behalf of all the online participants and the live participants who are physically present over here, we would like to thank Venerable Geshe Damdul. And I would also like to inform you all that we have tea refreshment at the gallery room. So I would request all of you to kindly move on there and help yourself. And before that, I would also like to inform you that we have arranged talk. So I would like to request my colleagues to kindly come up and distribute the talk to all the live participants who are here. And for the online participants, we would like to request you when you come and visit Tibet House, we'll be very happy and glad to offer you the talk. Thank you very much. The blessed soul. Thank you.
Vichanan Geshe-la, thank you.
Благодарю, Гишела, благодарю Тибетский Дом Хаус. Их благодарю.
Спасибо всем.
Thank you, Kishida. Thank you, Super House. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Ben. Всем спасибо. До свидания.
Спасибо.